happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. We're back after a few weeks off post-Nationals. I did do a box opening and a little bit of a Nationals review video, so if you missed that, you can check that out. But otherwise, I have not been on the YouTubes a whole lot recently because, well, I mean, I've been spending more time than I should on YouTube, but not my putting videos on YouTube, my own channel. And that's because I was kind of taking a little bit of a break post Nationals, just with everything going on. But I was definitely still doing redemption things, especially with the new set coming out. That's always fun to try out the new stuff and kind of get a little bit familiar with that. So I have been doing some gameplay, mostly actually like more recently with physical cards rather than on Lackey, but part of that's because Justin's been getting a little bit more active, and we've had some family get-togethers with my brother-in-law as well, bringing some of the new cards. So it's been fun to try out some new stuff, and I have not been super active on Lackey lately, but Lackey Grand Prix 23 is now here, so we're getting back into the swing of things where we're going to be doing Lackey Grand Prix. We're going to be posting different decks, and probably at least for a little while doing different decks for each video, just to try out different things and kind of see what's in the new set. And as usual, when I'm looking at a new set, it's kind of tradition, I guess, at this point, to look at the set and to specifically to look at the evil characters or evil humans, I guess, and see which ones of these would be fun to convert to a hero and use on offense? Are there any that are particularly good or interesting, that have cool abilities that might not necessarily work as well if you're blocking? You have to depend on your opponent not negating it or something like that. But kind of that you can activate when you're going into battle and almost all but guarantee that the ability is going to go through. And I will say they did a pretty decent job of eliminating fun in this regard with this set. There aren't too many characters that I feel like are like, oh yeah, that would be fun, or like that is pretty cool. But there is one that caught my eye here, which was Seleucus the Victorious. Maybe it's Seleucus, probably not, but I don't know. Greek, I don't, old Greek, I guess. Seleucus the Victorious, though, is what I'm going to go with. And this guy says you may draw X or discard an artifact. If opponent has drawn 5 or more cards this turn, you may play an OT Black Enhancement. None of this seems super exciting at the onset, except for the fact that the X here, it's a draw X without a limit. So that's kind of cool. It's a little bit unusual. And here the X in the identifier, if you can read that, is X is the number of heroes in battle, which a lot of times that's just going to be dependent on your opponent if you are blocking with Seleucus. And so that's probably why there is no limit for the X. It in theory could fit on there because there is space at the end of the ability here. So it was, I think, somewhat deliberate to not include it, to really be a fun swing card. If your opponent does some mass banding or something, you can really punish them in a sense by blocking with Seleucus. Maybe you band him into battle after they've used their banding enhancement or something like that, or you can add him to battle with perplexing vision or something like that. But if you are just straight up blocking, you might get to draw you a few cards, and the cool part and is also playing the enhancement on defense. It's also pretty good. Kind of has that foreign wives condition. If opponent has drawn 5 or more cards this turn, that you can play an enhancement. So overall, this seems like a pretty good evil character, pretty decent. No modifiers, but for a draw and a play ability, seems pretty good. Also the flexibility to take out an artifact, it can be nice. He's a Greek, he's king, he's a Daniel card. You got a lot of good things going for him. So what about if we convert him to a hero? Because speaking of heroes or offenses that like to bring out a bunch of heroes, or to band a bunch of heroes together, the Daniel offense likes to do that, and this is a Daniel character. So if I convert him to a hero, then he's a Daniel hero, and that X, or the draw ability, I guess, is not conditional on if blocking or a number of opponent's heroes in battle or anything like that. It's just number of heroes in battle. So If Seleucus is a hero, then I can put him at the end of a big banding chain with a bunch of other Daniel heroes and draw a bunch of cards. Seems kind of fun. So what does that Daniel banding chain actually look like now with the new cards? We're usually going to be starting off with Michael. Sometimes we'll start out with Daniel, though, because Daniel's Guardian or Angel of the Winds can go to Daniel, and then Daniel can band to Michael. But here we can just throw Daniel in there. Michael, the new one, says if your Daniel hero is harmed, you may top deck it instead, may band to a Daniel human and or an OT Angel can have be negated. So that and means that you can do both. So let's just say we band to Servants by the River, and then Servants by the River can band to a Daniel Angel, so band to Gabriel, who can band to a Daniel Human. So let's just say we'll band to, Eternal Believers, and Eternal Believers will band to Servants of the King, so you can band to a generic Daniel Human. And then Servants of the King probably just ends that one there. You can draw 2 cards. Seems pretty good. And then Daniel can band to Abednego can band to Shadrach can band to Meshach, and then Meshach can band to your converted Seleucus the Victorious. And look at that, you get to draw 9 cards, plus the 2 from Servants of the King. So, I mean, if you're not getting to hand limit off of that, then you're probably not doing it right, but yeah, seems kind of cool. I mean, it is a lot of setup. You do have to get all 9 of these heroes, which is not completely insignificant, but the Daniel offense is pretty good at getting Daniel cards. Ancient of Days certainly helps out with that. We're running Mayhem in this version because it is also an A-bomb Greeks deck, and Daniel's Guardian and Angel of the Winds can help to get Daniel and whatever other humans you want. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the idea here. We try to get as many as we can. Probably not going to get 9 super often, but when we can do it, we'll do it. So how do we actually convert Seleucus to a hero is the next kind of step of the equation. Here we have Naaman's Servant Girl as kind of the main and only way to do that. I thought about having Holy Grail in here, I thought about having Redemption in here. Neither of them really fit super well. It was just tough to make space here. You can see I'm already at 57 cards, just because, I mean, mostly because I wanted the 8th dominant. Like, I was looking at all these dominants and I was like, I don't know what to cut here. I want to try Perplexing Vision, I want to try Forces Rise and Ancient of Days, and I don't really want to cut Mayhem because it just seems too good with A-Bomb, but I don't know. That was one of the things that was tricky in building the deck. I was like, I feel like this could easily be a 50 card deck, just try to get to Ancient of Days quickly and try to get the banding and everything set up. But mostly it's just I wanted to try all 8 of these dominants, and I was like, 57 is easier. I don't have to cut as many cards, so let's just try that out. But Holy Grail and Redemption, especially Redemption, did not fit. Holy Grail, I was just like, I don't think I really need it. I think that, I mean, there are certainly evil characters that would be nice to be able to convert with Holy Grail. They're pretty much just Seleucus on my end. I mean, like, Cassander gets to draw a couple cards, and none of the other ones really do anything. I guess Priest of Zeus is kind of interesting, since you can protect him a little bit easier as a hero, although I guess not really in this deck. You kind of want him as an evil character because of Areopagus, but there are fewer things that target territory class heroes. At least there were. I don't know, with with times to come, there's a lot of kind of incidental territory destruction, I guess, on defense here too. But anyways, maybe converting Priest of Zeus would be good, but generally speaking, I want to just have Daniel heroes, although I don't have the Interceder in here, the Daniel Unity guy. But anyway, Naaman's Servant Girl is the way that I settled on to get Seleucus to convert Seleucus, which it seems like it should be easy enough. Like, I don't really need other convert options. Basically, I have Virgin Birth and I have Concealed Riches as options to get Naaman's Servant Girl out of reserve. The Concealed Riches is kind of interesting here. Normally you see that with like a full package, I guess, like, to achieve something or accomplish something where it's like, all right, I want to pull this package out of my reserve and then use it to combo or, do have some powerful play in there, like a, choose the blocker rescue or something like that. But here the idea actually came from Seth Moreland, Bingaling, as he's known on the Discord, although he's not, as active on Discord right now. But he reached out to me and he was like, hey, has anybody tried Joy with Daniel yet? Just because the new Daniel protects Daniel heroes from harm, and then also has that choose the blocker ability, and also the banding, like making that CBN just seems pretty good. Joy, you place on a clay or white hero, and that hero's special ability cannot be negated. You also increase that hero 7-0, which, is kind of nutty. You need to get a 19-4 Daniel that's protected from harm and can choose the blocker, CBN. Seems pretty good. You do have to make sure that he doesn't die in mutual destruction, so you're going to have something to play there to keep him alive. But, I guess you could also just do Michael band to Daniel and just have a big band, kind of forego the choose the blocker thing, and just have a bunch of protected heroes. That's probably the better way to go, but the choose the blocker is also kind of nice. And so, yeah, Seth was like, hey, has anybody tried this yet? And it seems like it'd be pretty good. And I was like, yeah. I mean, like, that's certainly something that is intriguing. Any kind of CBN protection has historically been good in Redemption. And so, lobbing the choose the blocker along with that seems really good. And so I was like, well, I don't know if Joy really fits super well in this deck. I got to figure out a way to get it from reserve without getting too splashy. Like, I want to be mostly Daniel cards in the main deck. And so having Joy in the main deck just doesn't feel great. There are other heroes that could work well using Joy. I mean, I guess mostly just Meshach is kind of nice because making him CBN is pretty sweet, but I mean, he doesn't really need to be CBN. His effect is just powerful anyway, and normally if they are spending resources to negate that, it's because they want to do something else other than harm your heroes. So that's sometimes a win anyway if they're spending resources to play around that. But anyways, so I was like, how can I get Joy from reserve consistently? And I was thinking Book of the Covenant to Covenant of Prayer or something like that. Or I guess Hope would be a way to go. But none of those just felt like they fit really well. Concealed Riches just seemed like the kind of most natural way to go. And then I can also grab some other things that I needed situationally. So Name and Servant Girl, I already talked about, but then Joy could come out with her. Servants of the King is also nice if I need some soul gen options. So Concealed Riches is really just there as like a flexibility piece, which is kind of, I guess, maybe what it was meant for. Not necessarily like having a package that comes out, but it kind of uses the reserve in the way that it was meant for, I guess, where it is meant to be more like a sideboard, less of like a just convenience place of accessing cards. And so it's more of like, okay, this card would be good in this situation, I want to pull it out. So Concealed Riches in this deck is probably going to be like 2 to 4, 4 at most, I would say, cards coming out at any given time, which is kind of normal, but it's as little as 2. There's not like or I mean, I guess even as 1, probably 2 though. Like just grabbing Name and Servant Girl and Joy, or Name and Servant Girl and Sheol, or something. It's just seems pretty good. But anyway, so Name and Servant Girl can come out and capture, convert my Seleucus, and then add Daniel. She does have to add a unique human hero in territory battle. It doesn't have to be the character that you convert though. So I don't really want to add Seleucus right away. I want him to be at the end of a big chain. So then at that point I add Daniel bends to Michael, and then you can bring in the rest of the troops, and then Seleucus, and draw a bunch of cards. Seems pretty cool. I guess you could also spend some time to convert Seleucus and then put Joy on him and then attack and then make sure that they don't negate your big draw. But I mean, that's not really going to work with Naaman's Servant Girl, because then you have to do an extra turn in between, which is kind of lame. So, anyways, so that's pretty much the idea for the offense here. Is just kind of basic approach to the new Daniel mode of operation, which is really just put out a big band and be protected and do other fun stuff. So mostly Meshach is kind of the powerhouse, I think. I mean, Daniel is good, protecting from harm. Michael is good, and if they are harmed, if they negate Daniel or something, then you can top deck them and just kind of keep going. But Meshach is really like the powerhouse here, I think, where once you get Meshach online, it limits your opponent's options quite significantly, where they can't draw, they can't search, they can't do Deceiver to exchange for a certain evil character or Amalekite slave or something like that. The one thing you do have to watch out for with Meshach, though, is something like, I guess I don't have any of them in here, but like the Prince of Persia, where they reserve a character. I'll just pull it up. The Prince of Persia. Reserve a character. Its controller might enter deck a card of matching brigade from hand or territory instead. If your hand is protected by Meshach, then you cannot instead. So it's kind of a similar thing to like if your hand is protected by Bethlehem Stable or something like that. I guess I could have just used Alexander Truss as the example here. He's sitting right here. Opponent may enter deck a good enhancement from hand instead. If hands are protected, then you can't do that. So just kind of watch out for that, I guess, if you're using Meshach. But hopefully you're doing it with Daniel so that he'll be protected anyway. So the fact that he does this protectability, it's kind of like Mordecai like protectability, and then also draws cards or bans, that's pretty good. So he was definitely using the new Meshach made the most sense. I liked the new Shadrach, especially because Daniel doesn't negate New Testament enhancements anymore. So Shadrach kind of gives you a little bit of that flavor, I guess, from your previous Daniel ban. Prevent enhancements of strength X or less, and that X updates as you put more Daniel heroes into battle, continue the band. Or you can use it for hand information, which you don't have that with the new Daniel either. So I feel like Shadrach is kind of making up for some of the things you lost with the new Daniel from the old one. And then the Abednego that I included was the old one. The new one, which makes the good repeat enhancement CBP, it's all right, but I liked having the reserve access here, and then also the lost soul protection. Both of those just seemed like they had a better payoff here, and I'm not really doing a whole lot of repeating stuff. Like Shattered and Scorched has a repeat, but it's going to be CBN pretty much all the time anyway. Given from God as a repeat, but I'm pretty much only going to be playing it in territory, or usually I'm going to be playing it in territory. And then Prayer Over Power has a repeat, but it's CBN. So really there was no reason to use the new Abednego. I guess 70 weeks maybe be a reason, but usually I'm going to be using this as an artifact to prevent evil characters, usually. So those are things that are kind of the decisions here that I made for these three fellas. And then the generic Daniel humans that are kind of like a sub theme of the Daniel offense, or something that was kind of added to the Daniel theme specifically from this set. I have Eternal Believers in the main deck, pretty much just to be an early Ancient of Days fetcher. Takes a good Daniel card from deck, so if you have it on turn 1, you can just go with Eternal Believers, or Angel of the Winds can go to Eternal Believers, and then you can go get Ancient of Days and then just play it right away to load up your hand and make sure that your opponent doesn't have a chance to negate Eternal Believers to put Ancient of Days back. And then Servants of the King, I included both of these actually, but this one in reserve, the soul generating one, and then this one in the main deck, the bouncing and banding one. The part of the reason I wanted this I think the bouncy human is actually just good, flexible, like good for flexibility. Bouncing your opponent's territory class characters can be pretty nice, especially with the dudes like Bad Merchants and Overseer running around now, and also the fact that it can bounce itself is kind of cool because then Daniel can ban to a Daniel hero, so you ban to Servants of the King, and then Servants of the King can bounce itself, and then you can still do the second part of Servants of the King's ability to draw 2 cards. And then you go back to Daniel here, who says, if alone, you may choose an evil character to block. So it kind of just staples a little draw 2 onto Daniel, which I think is kind of cool, especially if you're doing the Joy, you're going to choose the blocker thing. So Daniel with Joy, you attack, CBN protect from harm, CBN ban to Servants of the King, Servants of the King bounces itself, and then you get to draw 2 cards, then you get to choose the evil character to block. It just, just a little combo that isn't necessarily going to make a huge difference, but I think it's going to be, it's just convenient, I guess, because I already want to have enough Daniel characters in here, or a decent number of Daniel characters in here to have in my banning chain and make sure I can draw a bunch of cards with Seleucus. So that is pretty much the offense. The defense, I went fairly into the new Greeks. Like I think that there are going to be a number of different ways to build Greeks now, but with this deck in particular, since it was a Daniel deck, I wanted to kind of focus as much as I could on the Daniel Greeks. And so there's no Demetrius the Silversmith with Seized by Riders, none of the like scholars and philosophers with worldly wisdom and stuff like that. Those are things that I thought about. Worldly wisdom seemed nice to have another way to basically get to Ancient of Days, because you can search for Crowd's Choice and then you can play that to get Ancient of Days. But in order to do that, I needed to include like probably like three non-Daniel cards in the defense and like have it be somewhat consistent. That also meant I had to include up to like 2 or maybe 3 of the scholars and philosophers, which are decent, but they're not great. Stoic Philosophers is nice for protecting your defense, but it's not really needed anymore for protecting like a placed A-bomb in territory. It protects black enhancements. So like you don't really need those cards anymore, and the characters themselves are just a little less than ideal. So I did still keep Priest of Zeus in here, pretty much a staple for a Greek defense, so I don't think there was any way I was going to avoid that. And then I also had the Deceiver in here as a way to get some of the dudes from reserve. I did still want to have at least some New Testament Greek evil characters in here, so I could trigger Areopagus on the upkeep trigger there to make each player draw a card and get some A-bomb triggers going. So that's why I have Alexander of Troas in reserve as well. He's also just nice if opponent has hand protection, kind of as I was talking about before with Meshach. And the rest, I just chose kind of the best of the best from the new Daniel evil characters. I think Goat with Horn is great. The fact that he can ban and then make OT enhancement CBN is really cool, especially with Seleucus. So if opponent has drawn 5 or more this turn, you can block with Goat with Horn, ban to a Greek warrior. So you ban to Seleucus, you draw more cards, and then you get to play an enhancement. You play it on the Goat with Horn, because he doesn't say like you have to play it on this character. He just says you may play. So you can play it on Goat with Horn and it's CBN. So if you do like Goat with Horn to Seleucus and play Betrayal or something like that, underdeck their hero in battle, and then you've drawn a whole bunch of cards. Like that just seems pretty good. I did not include the Winged Leopard in here. That might seem a little suspicious to some folks. It seems pretty good, like just a free, draw and band, and it's a Daniel card. But I decided to focus a little bit more on the new stuff, and also I figured that most people would be not playing like that many good brigades. Like a lot of people are gonna shifting toward mono to 2 brigade offenses, kind of like this, where there's silver and white, or there's silver and green, or just green, or just gold with Joshua offenses. So no Winged Leopard. The negatable draw and band, it's not like great now, and I just felt like there were better options here. So Prince of Greece, definitely seems good, worth running. Alexander's Destroyers, I liked the restrict good dominance part there. Antiochus, just a solid removal option for pretty much anything. Discard up to one card. And, it does have very open-ended outs to, they can discard a card of matching alignment instead. So I'm not quite sure if this is worth it, but it's really good for sniping artifacts, and it can also, just the fact that it's CBN seems pretty handy, I guess. And also with Alexander's Destroyers and Goat with Horn, it can be a pretty good block on turn one. It does have to have another Evil Greek in play. So, if I don't have one of the guys that bans, then he's not going to be as good on turn one. But a lot of the times, if your opponent is just attacking on turn one, they might be doing it with the lone hero without having put any other heroes down. So they might not have any options to instead the discard. Seems pretty solid. With Deceiver, being able to get Goat or Destroyers, that seems good. I've got Darkness in here to help out. Perplexing Vision can help out with that. So there's just a lot of ways to make it work out early and later on. I don't know if it'll get much action, but I just felt like it was at least worth trying out. This guy is probably the best Greek evil character in the set. Prince of Greece is maybe close, but just the choose the blocker is great, and then also reserve access or drawing two and all that CBN. Yes, please. He does have to be blocking alone, so none of that banned and then choose shenanigans. But the fact that he can choose somebody and then also fetch the enhancement to play against that character just seems like it'd be good. Seleucus, also we kind of talked about him. Depraved, nice one just for removal of cards. Kind of similar to Antiochus, where you can just kind of take out pretty much anything. There is, I don't know, these days, like, the Brigade Advantage might be a little less reliable, I guess, where because I do have these 2-color characters and a 2-color offense as well, so Depraved might not get the action that I want from this deck, but I think, it was probably the best, next best Daniel evil character option in here, so, or available. Alexander the Great was close, but I ended up putting him in reserve instead. So that is where I was at. Maybe Alexander should be in instead of the Depraved in the main deck, but I just felt like Depraved was maybe better overall, like for early on, and there are other ways to get Alexander out of reserve, such as Return to Fight, Realm of Greece, and Wages of Sin. Right, yeah, he's got a discard ability. So yeah, anyways, some non-Daniel cards in the evil enhancements here. We got Wages that can get pretty much anything in this defense, so lots of stuff that discards stuff. So it just seemed like it made a lot of sense. There's also another way to get A-Bomb early through Return to Curse. Return to Curse is just a discard a card on the evil enhancement side, which means that it can be a target for Wages, and then you can just activate it on the artifact side to go and get A-Bomb. So that seemed pretty good. Betrayal I just like, especially with any kind of play first character, so I wanted to put it in. And Stricken just seemed too good to not put in a black defense. So yeah, all of those just seemed good enough to merit including in a mostly Daniel deck. But I do have 1290 days in here, and allowed to be trampled is kind of my Daniel enhancements that I wanted to have in the main deck. Realm of Greece can grab the other Black Daniel enhancements that I have in here, and yeah, the other part of the defense I guess to mention here is the I don't know that I need to explain like the A-Bomb stuff too much, but basically the force to draw parts to discard stuff in their territory with Mayhem, and then forces Arise to get it, to activate it, to trigger it, do all that jazz. And then I also have Astropole in the reserve because I think it's kind of a sneaky play that people wouldn't be expecting, especially mid-battle with Forces Arise. just seems pretty good to have that option available. So Kingdom of the Divine in here to make some Lost Soul tokens. I did decide to go mostly Daniel Lost Souls. I included Humble and Wicked because they get around the negate part of Kingdom of the Divine, but I thought it'd be cool just to try out kind of some of the Daniel Lost Souls, and then also I just included 2 Meek Daniel Lost Souls because, one, they kind of enable Throne of the Earth a little bit more, which the Lost Soul tokens from Kingdom of the Divine also do that, but also they're Daniel cards, so you can take them and just make sure you hit with Ancient of Days. I figured if I'm going to be negating Lost Souls anyway, then I might as well. I mean, would I be better off with like a Lawless and some other Lost Soul like Prosperity that comes in and gets me value and more cards on turn 1 probably, but I wanted to try it out. Throne to the Earth seemed kind of cool, and the Daniel tokens, all that. Yeah, I just went for it. But otherwise, we got Stubborn, we've got Idolaters, and we've got Contempt, all of the new Daniel Lost Souls. And then Darkness is the only one in here that's really going to be negatively affected by Kingdom of the Divine if I have Kingdom down before I get to Darkness. But if that's the case, then I probably have some evil characters down already, and Darkness isn't going to do anything. And if Darkness comes out on turn 1, that means I get a turn 1 Priest of Zeus, which seems pretty good. Or turn 1 Deceiver, or I can go get Seleucus to set up my thing for next turn. Lots of good options. Deceiver is probably the main target. Priest of Zeus is maybe right there alongside him, but I can also get that with Shrine to Artemis. Notable exclusions. I cut Endless Treasures from this list. I figured with Return to Curse that was good enough to, and like Forces Arise, like those were good enough to have enough options to get A-Bomb out, and Forces Rise is good to just keep getting A-Bomb out of the reserve, but this isn't like a repeatable activation of A-Bomb type of deck necessarily. It's more of like I want to leave A-Bomb active and get triggers off of it with Areopagus and with Alexander the Great and Clash with Persia, Mayhem. I don't know how well that's really going to work unless I'm really leaning into it, and I'm not really leaning into it as much with this deck as I certainly could be with other versions of the Greek defense. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's necessarily the way to go. There were definitely situations in the game we're about to watch where I probably should have used A-Bomb, and I did not, or use the first part of it, and I did not. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. So anyways, speaking of the game that you're about to witness, it is my round 1 game for Lackey Grand Prix 23 against Joseph Roberts, and he did not explore too much of the new stuff. He added something, a little bit of it, but he was just kind of modifying his deck that he was using last season with the Purple Warriors and Demons. And so he's trying out some of the new stuff with one of the new Demons. I think it was Ram with 2 horns, if I remember correctly. But otherwise, it was kind of mostly his straightforward Purple Demons thing. So I guess we're going to kind of see how some of these new cards do against a deck that was more from last year's set focused, I guess. So yeah, that'll be cool to get into that. But before we do, of course, we got to give a shout out to our sponsors over here at Your Turn Games. We are happy to support them as they support us. So give a visit to Your Turn Games if you're looking to get any of these new cards in time to come. Or if you want to just search times to come on Google, I guess. So you can head on over to Your Turn Games. You can get the pre-orders in now. They still have not got the shipments from Rob yet as of the recording of this. So no new cards are being shipped out quite yet. So if you didn't get them at Nationals, then you have to practice your patience a little bit. I know it's tough, but that's what we've got Lackey and Lackey Grand Prix for, I guess. Also wanted to highlight something that I did not mention last time or in the last video, but they have new playmats. They debuted these playmats at Nationals, and we have 2 new playmats here. The Second Coming playmat, which like, oh, this looks pretty sweet. I mean, like, yeah, it's the Second Coming art that we're familiar with, but it's kind of got, I mean, it's like got the full scope of it, I guess. The whole mat here, and then also the Walking with Jesus playmat, where it's the kind of art that's used on the Son of God in New Jerusalem 2019 national participant promo cards. So this is a pretty sweet art, and like if you ever had any reason to run New Jerusalem in your deck, or if you never needed a reason, I guess, to run New Jerusalem in your deck, this would be it. Because it'd be pretty cool to slap down your Son of God in New Jerusalem on this playmat if you have those two. Yeah, those 2 versions, I guess, the 2019 promos. So those look pretty sweet. I mean, this is just a cool piece of art. Jesus walking in the garden with the kiddos in the New Jerusalem. So yeah, it's some or 2 really cool playmats to join the slew of already awesome existing playmats that Your Turn Games has to offer. So you can go check those out over here at Your Turn Games, and yeah, I think that's it before we get into the game. So let's go ahead and get into the game with Joe.
I rolled a 2.
Alright, I also rolled a
Playing
2.
that language at a different damn.
And then I rolled a 1.
Alright, I got a 3.
Alright, it is up to you.
I think I'll go first.
Okay.
Do I have any? I have no stars.
None for me either.
Alright, Lost Soul, I'll give you a token.
Okay.
I have that one for you.
Sweet.
And you see what the other one does. Am I good to start my turn?
Yep.
Alright, I'll put down Thomas the Twin. Put in there. Alright. Ready for me to go out into battle?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. Not with SL. Go into my deck. Yeah.
Straight to Benny,
That's my
huh?
rest of the turn. What'd you say?
So straight to Benny, huh?
Yep.
Alright, well, I'm gonna try this. Go with Cassander of Macedon. So I'm gonna draw 2. And then I can choose a hero to attack, so I will choose Thomas to attack.
Nice setup. Nice side. So, alright. My initiative?
Yep.
Give it a shot. Try to negate and discard you.
CVP. Okay. Yep, that will work.
Alright.
Let's
I don't get to do the draw 3 though. He's not used by Warrior.
Right. Yep. So I guess that was good for me. I'll give you the token, and then I will underdeck Contempt.
Let me see. You put and play man.
Oh, yeah, so it's, or if an opponent rescues a
What is it?
loss.
I didn't realize it. Didn't realize it didn't underdecked itself. That's cool.
Yep.
Your turn.
Alright, draw 3. No souls, no stars. Risky there. Alright, let's put down Michael. I'll play. It's a little less good, but I'll play Given from God. Look at the tops, my top 7. And do not get to repeat. Oops. But I can take a good Daniel card. I will take Meshach. And the rest just go back on top. And then I will... Got a snatch spear, huh? I decide if I want to put characters down or not. I will at least put down that, and then let's do. I'm gonna activate a bomb, and I will. I will not reserve it. Just leave it active. And then I will go to battle if that's good with you.
Go for it.
Alright, I'll attack with Michael, Bantu, Gabriel, and Meshach. So we'll do Gabriel to discard an evil enhancement from your deck.
Okay.
Alright, so let's see if I search, you get to do Thomas. Nah, that's fine. I won't do that part then. But I will do Meshach. Oh, actually, I guess Meshach would work too. All right, yeah. So I'll do Gabriel. Oops. Learn how my new cards work here. Um, let's discard. Let's discard this one because it reminds me of Nationals against Tyler, and I don't like it. And
Yeah,
then
it's a good works good against Daniel Banding. So.
right, yeah. And then I'll use Meshach to draw 3. And
No Lost Souls.
No Lost Souls. And protecting hands, decks, and reserves from opponent.
Alright. I'll give you this and I'll create a token.
Alright, fair enough. Kind of wondered which way you would go there, if you would give me the undesirables or just give me the harvest to make a token. Either way, it would have been nice to have this one first, but I guess there's no Daniel Lost Soul in play, so let's do that down, and then I'm gonna put down the Priest of Zeus. And I will pass turn.
Alright. Stars.
I think just in your draw phase, I'm gonna ask for dominant initiative.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to play Forces Arise. I will not activate an idol, but I will make us each draw 1. And then I'll use a bomb to discard Benaya. And underdeck Forces Arise.
Opponent draws because of an ability. Discard card in your territory. I'm gonna play Woes as good to negate
No, that's unfortunate.
that.
Guess I should have done it on my turn. Maybe you wouldn't have had it.
Yeah, I guess I will put up the cross.
Or I should have. Well, I guess, yeah, I would be able to play it if you had the cross, so I guess that makes sense.
And then alright. He is not protected. I'll come out with Benaya. And I'll choose Priest of Zeus to block.
Yep. That's annoying. Yep, that'll work. You will die and you can have a token.
Alright. Your turn.
Alright. Go to stubborn. Alright. I will create a token in my upkeep with Kingdom of the Divine.
Says while doing lost souls and planning. Create a lost soul and token.
Guess we don't really have tokens for that one yet. That'll be kind
I
of.
have. I can put this.
Sure. Yeah, that works.
Alright.
Thank you. Alright. Now what to do? Got the cross. Alright. I will think just use that. Yeah. So I'm going to turn over a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And I will activate Concealed Riches. Oops.
You shuffle this card. If you do, shuffle all cards from 0 above sheeted. Alright.
So I can get up to 3 cards. I'm going to do Joy, Naaman, Servant Girl, and we'll do Sheol. And I will send two, 2, 3. All right, send those 3 cards to reserve. Take these 3.
Is that a search?
Yes, it is.
Alright. I will use Thomas.
Yep. This is discarded.
I'll take second card.
All right. And then I will put down Sheol, put down Antiochus. And I'm gonna play Wages. And I'm gonna go get Clash with Persia from my reserve.
Alright, I get a Thomas trigger.
Yep.
Take crowd's choice.
Alright. I will use Sheol to underdeck Stubborn.
Oh, I forgot about
And then I will go to battle if that's cool with you.
that. Go for it.
Alright, I'm gonna go with Angel of the Winds. We'll. Yeah, I think we'll just exchange it with Daniel. Do the protection, ban to Michael. Then we'll ban to these 2 dudes. So we'll do. Guess we'll do the search on Gabriel first. Yeah. And we'll discard. It's okay. Yeah, let's discard Joab's Spears. And then Meshach will draw 3. Oh, came right back. And then Gabriel can ban to a Daniel Human. Ban to Eternal Believers. And I'll take a good Daniel card from my deck. Take Ancient of Days.
My block?
Yeah. What you got?
Nada.
So,
Here you go, sir.
all right. Put down Servants by the River. And I'll put down name and servant girl. And I'll pass turn.
Alright. No stars. I'll put woes on stubborn.
Okay.
I'll put this down. Go to face down artifact. Alright, this guy too. Document evil creeks in play. Scrap to one card. Alright, I'm gonna come out. Put this down. I'm gonna come out for a rescue attempt.
Alright.
Go out with him. And this guy is not protected. I guess I'll choose him to block.
Alright. And you are 15, 12. Alright, my initiative.
Yep.
I will play Clash with Persia. I will discard the cross. And then I will repeat. I will discard woes. And I guess you have to draw one in between each of those.
So I draw one.
Yeah, so you draw one, then I'll discard woes, then you draw another card.
So woes is discarded. Then I draw another.
Yep.
And right now he's your only guy in battle. You don't have unity for Sheol.
I do have unity for Sheol.
Oh, but this is your only guy giving you unity?
Right, yep.
Alright, I'm gonna I can play a dominant, right?
Yep.
I did not think it was resolved. Alright, I'll play Angel.
Alright. Then I will ask for... Actually, hold on. Or before you do that, I just want to make sure, because once Sheol leaves, then my stubborn actually turns back on. So it'd be protected.
How is that?
So once your woes is out of play, then it's no longer negating stubborn. So it's back to being protected. So if you want to not play Angel there, you can, but
yeah, I'll take them back. What can I do here?
But if you're not going to play dominant, I am going to ask for dominish myself.
So what's going on? So because if I get rid of Sheol, what happens?
Nothing. Right now, I just wouldn't get any triggers. Sheol isn't doing anything right now.
All right, you can have dominish, I guess.
Okay, so I'm going to play the Ancient of Days. So I'll reveal my top three. So it's these three. So I'm going to take these two Daniel cards, and then Trail gets underdecked, and then I get to repeat up to 2 times. So I'll repeat once. 1, 2, 3. I will take the Depraved and underdeck these two. And then one more time, 1, 2, 3. We'll take Daniel's Guardian and that one. Underdeck that one. Okay.
Alright, so is that all done resolving?
Yep.
So I could do Angel to you, and then you got no unity for Sheol, and then I could play Crowd's Choice to go to Woes to negate that, and then I get the Lost Soul.
Well, Woes is discarded, so the...
Oh, it's discarded. I was... Alright, never mind. I was thinking it was under deck. Alright, so right now, what's going on?
So right now it'd be my initiative unless you wanted to play another dominant.
No, your initiative.
Okay. What to do here? Yeah, I think I will just let him die.
All right.
And the Lost Soul is protected.
I guess I will play Son of God. I'll take that.
Yep.
Then I'll play Second Coming to take Son of God. Then I'll go back into my hand. This gets discarded. Put that there. And say go.
Alright. Draw 3, no souls, no stars. Upkeep, I will make another token with Kingdom of the Divine. If you've got one, that would be great.
Who's getting a token? Me?
Yep. And go to prep phase. I will put down the Realm of Greece. And Bendigo. Daniel's Guardian. Yeah, I guess that's what we came here to do, so let's try it out. Alright, I'm going to activate Shrine to Artemis. I'm going to shuffle Daniel's Guardian to go grab a Greek from my deck. I'm going to grab this guy. And then for my territory class enhancement, I'm going to play Joy, place it on Daniel. Make him CBN. And I will put down Depraved, Destroyers, Goat, and I put that down too. I guess probably not. Oh. Yeah. All right. Then I will go to battle if that's cool with you.
Yep.
All right. To start out with Naaman's Servant Girl. I'm gonna capture her to you. Convert my Seleucus the Victorious to. Oops. Convert him to white. And then add a unique human. So I'm going to add Daniel to battle. Daniel band to Michael. Michael will band to Servants by the River and Abednego. And then, let's see here. Needs to band to a generic. So I'll do Abednego. Well, do I need that? Probably not. I won't do Abednego, so I'll just protect Lost Souls. Or I won't do the underdeck part. I will do the band eventually. But we'll go with. Yeah, I guess I'll just band with Abednego now. Band to Meshach to do the protecting. Draw 3 with him. Hey, there's some Lost Souls. And then Servants by the River will band to Gabriel. Go discard an evil enhancement from your deck. Let's do Deafening Spirit.
Alright, it's discarded.
And then Gabriel will band to Seleucus, who's going to draw 6. Alright, and that is my rescue attempts. Yep, so they're all CBN protected from harm, protecting Lost Souls from evil cards, protecting hands, decks, and reserves from opponent.
Oh, you're protecting hand, deck, and reserve from me?
Yep. Meshach is pretty good.
Yeah, and you're protected from harm. Uh-oh. You got Sun God's Second Coming?
That I do. Yep, happen to try and do them both there.
Yeah. Oh, I think I was gonna win next turn too.
Good game.
Yeah. That
Uh,
one lost soul, man, not having anything out there that one turn cost me.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
that's
I don't know. We can play it out and see if here. We'll just do this. We can play it out and see if you would have gotten a soul on your turn. So I feel pretty good about my defense now that I drew all these cards, but curious to
all
see what
right.
you
So
got.
you won, but yeah, let's see. All right. If I
So
can't pull this off, I'd be surprised. All right, done.
I guess before you give me the lost soul, did you want to play your Son of God to get to 4?
Oh, just so that for the tournament's sake.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll play Son of God. I'll take Humble.
Okay.
So you would win 5-4. And you
Uh,
want to see if I can pull this off?
sure. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna let's see. Turn over that. Let's see. I can discard that, and guess I'll discard that one. All right. That's it. Pass turn.
All right. There's so many ways I can do this. How do I want to do it? Um, Maybe the simplest way. Are all these guys protected over here in your territory?
They are not at the moment. There's just if 2 or more heroes are in battle, they're protected by Realm of Grease.
Alright. I'll come out with. Well, I guess I'm gonna do it. I might as well do it. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna come out with Benaya.
Yep.
Alright. I'll choose him to block.
All right.
And then. Alright. So then I'll let you. It's your initiative.
All right. So I'll ask for dominant initiative.
I'm gonna play Dom first.
All right.
I'll play Crowd's Choice is good.
Yep.
I'll take Buckler and then I'll play Buckler.
I get a shield trigger off of Crowd's Choice.
Alright. Oh, and then you get another one off Buckler.
Yeah, if you play Buckler, yeah, then I get another one.
Yeah, I haven't in my notes. Take this. Oops, it's not what I meant to grab. Sorry. I'll take this.
All right. So I underdeck that one.
Oh, so you underdeck both of them.
Yeah, one for Crowd's Choice and one for Buckler. Yeah.
I guess I did the math wrong, so it wouldn't have mattered anyways.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. All right, let's say imagine I didn't play the buckler, because the buckler is not a May, right? You actually have. Yeah, you have
Right.
to.
Yeah, you have to take. Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna. All right, let's see what would happen. I'll put helmet back and take buckler. This
Sure.
is so bad. All right. Where was I almost went to my discard pile. So buckler will go back to my hand. Shuffle my deck. Alright, and now it would be your
All right.
block.
So I'll play Forces of Rise and activate an OT idol from my reserve. Got a sneaky one in here. Do Asher pull. And then each of us must draw one, and I get to
So
underdeck.
you may act if you control any of each player must draw one, and then this turn out. Go teach humans from good cards with wow. So you would be protected from Benaya.
Exactly. Yep.
Interesting.
So let's see. You get to draw a card.
Alright. Now what happens?
And so now it would be stalemate. It'd still be, or I guess it'd actually be your initiative because I played the last card in battle.
Alright. We had a nice little thing going on there. Protect your evil OTG humans from good cards that update. So if I play this, you could just use Sheol to add someone else that would be protected anyways, right?
Right. Yep.
And that's a neutral card. All right. Yeah. So I don't. I think you would have had a successful block anyways.
Right. Go Greeks. Sneaky
Yeah.
Asher pull.
Yeah.
I feel
Where
like
do we at?
enough
Oh.
people playing, like uh, the CVN heroes. I guess like Michael, is a new one. Benaya's maybe the most significant one from Warriors, but I guess David too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I figured it'd be worth a shot, at least in reserve, especially with the that dominant.
You'd be protected, but from Halez also. But Halez could just discard it.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I think the best play is like activating it mid battle like that
Yeah.
after you've attacked. But yeah,
Huh. All right. Well,
that's a pretty
thanks
good
for
option.
playing. It was a good game.
Yeah, it was a good one.